Calcarea acetica, boric materia medica, acetate of lime, has had brilliant clinical results in inflammations of mucous membranes characterized by a membranous exudation. Otherwise, its action and application is like the carbonate. Cancer pains, head, vertigo in open air, senses obscure while reading, megrim, with great coldness in head and sour taste. Female, membranous dysmenorrhea, respiratory, rattling expiration, cough loose with expectoration of large pieces like cast of bronchial tubes, breathing difficult, better bending shoulders backward, constrictive anxious sensation in chest. Relationship, compare bromium borax, also calcarea oxalate, in excruciating pains of open cancer. Dose, third trituration. Next remedy is Calcarea fluorica, fluorspar, fluoride of lime. A powerful tissue remedy for hard, stony glands, varicose and enlarged veins, and malnutrition of bones, hard knots in female breast, goiter, congenital hereditary syphilis, induration threatening suppuration. Many cases of cataract have undoubtedly been influenced favorably by it. Congenital syphilis, manifesting itself in ulceration of mouth and throat, caries and necrosis with boring pains and heat in parts, atherosclerosis, threatened apoplexy, tuberculosis. Used after operations, the tendency to adhesions is reduced. Mind, Great Depression, groundless fears of financial ruin. Head, creaking noise in head, blood tumors of newborn infants, heart excrescences on the scalp, ulcers on the scalp with callous, hard edges. Eyes, flickering and sparks before the eyes, spots on the cornea, conjunctivitis, cataract. Stumous flactrinarium keratitis, subcutaneous palpebral cyst. Ears, calcareous deposits on tympanum, sclerosis of ossicula and petrous portion of temporal bone, with deafness, ringing and roaring, chronic suppuration of middle ear. Nose, cold in the head, stuffy cold, dry coryza, ozena, copious, offensive, thick, greenish, lumpy, yellow nasal catarrh. Atrophic rhinitis, especially if crusts are prominent. Face, hard swelling on the cheek with pain or toothache, hard swelling on jawbone. Mouth, gum boil with hard swelling on the jaw, cracked appearance of the tongue with or without pain, induration of the tongue, hardening after inflammation. Unnatural looseness of the teeth with or without pain, teeth become loose in their sockets. Toothache with pain if any food touches the tooth. Throat, follicular sore throat, plugs of mucus are continually forming in the crest of the tonsils. Pain and burning in throat, better by warm drinks, worse, cold drinks. Hypertrophy of Lushka's tonsils. Relaxed uvula, tickling referred to larynx. Stomach, vomiting of infants, vomiting of undigested food, hiccups, flatulency, weakness, and dentiness of appetite. Nausea and distress after eating in young children who are overtaxed by studies, acute indigestion from fatigue and brain fag, much flatulence. Stool and anus, diarrhea in gouty subjects, itching of anus, fissure of the anus, and intensely sore crack near the lower end of the bowel, bleeding hemorrhoids, itching of anus as from pinworms, internal or blind piles frequently, with pain in back generally far down on the sacrum, and constipation, much wind in lower bowels, worse pregnancy. Male, hydrocele, indurations of the testicles. Respiratory organs, hoarseness, croup, cough with expectoration of tiny lumps of yellow mucus with tickling sensation and irritation on lying down. spasmodic cough. Calcarea floor removes fibroid deposits about the endocardium and restores normal endocardial structure. Circulatory organs, chief remedy for vascular tumors with dilated blood vessels and for varicose or enlarged veins, aneurysm, valvular disease when the tuberculous toxins attack the heart and blood vessels. Neck and back, chronic lumbago, aggravated on beginning to move and ameliorated on continued motion. Osseous tumors, rachitic enlargement of fever in infants, pain lower part of back with burning. Extremities, ganglia or encysted tumors at the back of the wrist, gouty enlargements of the joints of the fingers, exostosis of fingers, chronic synovitis of knee joint. Sleep, vivid dreams with sense of impending danger, unrefreshing sleep. Skin, marked whiteness of skin, scar tissue, adhesions after operations, chaps and cracks, fissures or cracks in the palms of the hands or hard skin, fissure of the anus, suppurations with callous, hard edges, whitlow, indolent fistulous ulcers secreting thick yellow pus, hard elevated edges of ulcer, surrounding skin purple and swollen. Knots, canals, hardened glands in the female breast, swellings or indurated enlargements having their seat in the fasciae and capsular ligaments of joints or in the tendons, indurations of stony hardness. Modalities: worse during rest, changes of weather, better from heat, warm applications. Relationship: compare conium lapis, Baryta mur, Hiclarus, cacodylate of soda, Calcarea magnifera indica for varicose veins. Dose: 3rd to 12th titration. A chronic remedy needs some time before manifesting its effects, should not be repeated too frequently. Next remedy is Calcarea iodata, iodide of lime. It is in the treatment of scrofulous affections, especially enlarged glands, tonsils, etc., that this remedy has gained marked beneficial results. Thyroid enlargements about time of puberty, flabby children subject to colds, secretions inclined to be profuse and yellow, adenoids, uterine fibroids, croup. Head, headache while riding against cold wind, light-headed, catarrh, worse at root of nose, sneezing, very little sensation, polypi of nose and ear. Throat, enlarged tonsils are filled with little crypts. Respiratory, chronic cough, pain in chest, difficulty breathing after syphilis and mercurialization. Hectic fever, green, purulent expectoration, croup, pneumonia. Skin, indolent ulcers accompanying varicose veins, easy perspiration, copper-colored and papulous eruptions, tinea, fevers, crusta lactea, swelling of the glands, skin cracked, falling out of hair. Relationship: compare agraphis bluebell, adenoids with enlarged tonsils. Here, sulfur iodide follows both agraphis and Calcarea iode. Compare also Calcarea fluor, silicia, merc iode. Dose: 2nd and 3rd trituration. Next remedy is Calcarea silicata, silicate of lime. A deep long-acting medicine for complaints which come on slowly and reach their final development after long periods. Hydrogenoid constitution, very sensitive to cold. Patient is weak, emaciated, cold and chilly, but worse from being overheated. Sensitive generally, atrophy of children. Mind, absent-minded, irritable, irresolute, lacks self-confidence, fearful. Head vertigo, head cold, especially at vertex, catarrh of nose and posterior nares, discharge thick, yellow, hard crust, corneal exudation. Stomach, sensation of coldness, especially when empty, sinking sensation at pit, great thirst, flatulence and distension after eating, vomiting and irritations. Female, uterus heavy, prolapsed, glucoria, painful and irregular menses, flow between periods. Respiratory, sensitive to cold air, difficult respiration, chronic irritation of air passages, copious yellow-green mucus, coughs with coldness, weakness, emaciation, sensitiveness and peevishness, worse from cold air, pain in chest walls. Skin, itching, burning, cold and blue, very sensitive, pimples, comedones, veins, psoriatic eruptions. Relationship, compare arsenic, tuberculosis, baryta carb, iodine. Dose, all potencies from lowest to high.